Okay, here we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Devil Experience. How you all doing? Manchester United dominate Barnsley in what was an absolute masterclass by Manchester United. 7-0, 7-0 is the end of the score. I'm your host, Eric. We are going to do the Red Devil recap. We're going to get straight into it. The scoreline was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I think Richard, one of our members here, predicted 5-0. We scored 7, and it was just a fantastic match to watch today. It was a good confidence builder. We had players like Rashford scoring a brace, Garnacho scoring a brace, Christian Eriksen, Antony scoring a penalty. So all around, very, very good display. And very, very good result for Manchester United. I think it was our highest win in a cup, in a cup game ever, in our history, I believe. And we had a lot of good stuff. So before we delve into the finer details of the match and we really break it down, please smash the like button for me if you haven't done already. We greatly appreciate it if you're enjoying the content, and it really helps out the channel, so do that for me, please. And if you're not a subscriber, please go ahead, subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know when we go live, and you could be a part of our wonderful community and discussion. So thank you for that. Well, how you guys feeling? What are your thoughts about the match performances? What are you guys feeling? There's a lot of stuff to get into here. I just want to start off by really saying that Alejandro Garnacho and Marcus Rashford were absolutely superb today. They dominated the match. There was a lot of good performances. I think Delo was very good. Christian Eriksen played wonderful. Casemiro played well, very good as well. And there was some less better performances from a couple players. I think Antony did all right in his first start, but I think he could have done a little bit more. But he wasn't bad. He wasn't awful. And I think the defense, to be fair to the defense, they did their job when they had to. There wasn't a lot for them to do. For most parts of the matches, but when there was something for them to do, they handled it very well. Biende getting a starting goal, so I'm very, very happy about that. I could have swore that he was going to go with Onana. He did surprise us because we did talk about it pre-match, that we wanted Collier to start the match, and Collier did start the match, but he put him at left back, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But then once the match started, I did realize why he did it, because Collier was very inverted compared to what Delo was doing. So, it kind of made a little bit more sense as to why he put Collier at left back. He was basically, when we had the ball in possession, he was playing as an extra midfielder, and since he is a midfielder, he's more adjusted to that. So it was, it was part of the tactics, but it's good that he got minutes. I wish, the only negative that I really have for the match, and it's not a huge one, but it would have been something that I would have loved to see, was that, we were up 3-0 at halftime. We ended up winning 7. And I would have just liked it if we had a couple more youth players on the bench. I wish, he included Harry Almas. I think it was a perfect opportunity and a perfect match to put these kids in. Ethan Wheatley, I think, could have gotten some minutes over Xerxes, because Xerxes is going to be playing a lot. So, that's the only thing that I'm slightly disappointed about. Other than that, we performed very, very well. The first 10 minutes we were a little bit cagey. I was slightly concerned. Just with the slow start, because we usually start slow, and you never want to start slow. But we certainly picked it up. Marcus Rashford scoring fantastic goals, Garnacho scoring fantastic goals. So all around, very good performance. We usually do very well in the cups, and we're continuing that so far under Erik ten Hag. And a lot of people, they're gonna chat shit because it's Barnsley. You can't win. You can't win at this point, because if we lost to Barnsley, they would absolutely, disgrace us for losing to Barnsley. We win, and everybody says, it's only Barnsley. So you know what? I'm taking this in the aspect of we performed very well. We scored 7 goals. Players that needed to score and have a good game scored and had a good game. It's a very good confidence booster, and we're going into Crystal Palace on a high. 2 matches in a row we're winning. Players seem to be finding a little bit more confidence, a little bit more form, which is exactly what we need. And I hope, in terms of confidence, Marcus Rashford, maybe we might be saying very, very soon that he is back, because I think he took the opportunity he did against Southampton. He's gone into this match. He's taken his opportunity again, and he's built on it. And I think he's starting to show a little bit more confidence in himself, which is very, very important when you are a footballer. You need to have belief in yourself. I think Antony was a little bit shaky. In respects to that, I think he's still lacking confidence, but he's gonna need some more matches and some more game time to get there, because he really has been lacking in minutes. Manuel Ugarte, we almost forgot about him and all the hype of everybody else. He's not back, Grace. He's not back, but I say he might be on his way back. It's too early. It's too early for that. I'm not going to say he's back. It's too early. But he might be on his way back. Let's see what he continues to do. I want him to continue to build on these performances. Little steps by steps. That's what it's all about. When you're out of form, when you're not performing, you have to get back to where you were, and you take it match by match. So past 2 matches, I think he's put in very good performances compared to what he was doing. Let's see what he does against Crystal Palace. It's going to be a tougher match. We always have a tough time against Crystal Palace. It's not going to be a walk in the park like it was today. It's going to be a tough match, and we're going to have to be ready, and we're going to have to be on top of our game for that. We are going to come and do the live player ratings very, very soon. I'm going to go through the chat because you guys are going in here. Grace is asking for the Barnsley fan. I don't know if Cool is gonna come back. I think he said he was going to the match, so I don't expect him to be in here. But yeah, it would be nice so we could get his side, especially from a Barnsley fan, because there's not too many of them to come about. Richard's in here. Shout out, Richard. How you doing, buddy? I hope everything's good. I hope you're ecstatic. How many beers are you in deep? Because you had 40 either way. If we were gonna lose, you were gonna drink 40. If we were gonna win, you were gonna drink 40. So how many have you drinking so far? Richard saying, I thought we played well, except poor Toby Collier looked very uncomfortable. That was the only thing. And I'm not going to take it against him because he ain't a left back. He's clearly not a left back. He clearly hasn't played there many times. It was clearly more of a tactical thing for him to, we were always going to have more of the possession, so it wasn't really a worry in terms of defense. Barnsley, they didn't ever look threatening at all. So that's why, he played out there. So I'm not going to criticize the kid too hard. He was shaky in the defensive aspect, but he's not a left back. He was played there so he can invert. We were basically in the 3-back, sometimes in a 2.5 back, deciding on what, Diego Dalot was going to do. But Collier was very inverted, basically becoming an extra center midfield when we had the ball and we dominated possession. So that was clearly why he did that. I don't think you're going to see Collier play at left back in too many of the more tougher matches against higher opposition. But you can't take it against the kid. He was shaky. He did struggle a little bit in terms of the defensive part of the match. But overall, the whole team played very, very good, and I'm very, very happy with the result. We scored a lot of goals. We haven't seen that a lot. And I know obviously it is against Barnsley, but still, again, you have to look for the positives in every match. You can't talk shit just because it's just Barnsley. This is a confidence booster. It's a confidence booster match. We took it, and very, very happy with the result. So, Ericsson was excellent. I agree. And I did line him up. See, he played in the Bruno spot, for basically. I think the whole match, even when Bruno came on, he came on for Ugarte. So, I think Christian Eriksen plays wonderfully right behind the striker. I think because of his ability to read the game, and he can pick out passes, and he's very intelligent in that aspect. In the other position where he plays more of the box to box, he just doesn't have the legs for that. And I do get it because he tries to play kind of like a deep line playmaker role, almost making the plays from a deeper area. But for me, I still think and I believe, and he showed it today. Christian Eriksen playing in that spot that Bruno Fernandes plays. Christian Eriksen, that's where he excels. That was his natural position when he was younger and more in his prime. And I think he still showed it because he was always class, and class is permanent. He just doesn't have the legs to be running up and down the midfield, like other people. I think Ugarte, it was good to see him 60 minutes, played well, showed what he's got to offer, and I'm excited to see what he shows us more, because we're gonna learn a lot more about him in the upcoming matches going forward. And I think he has a lot more to offer. He's still getting integrated to the team. His first match at Old Trafford in front of the Old Trafford crowd, just starting and getting used to that atmosphere and all that stuff, and getting used to the rest of his teammates. So, I think it was a very, very, very good display. Antony was okay against Barnsley. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he was okay. He has a lot more work to do. But he did win the penalty. He did some good stuff in the match, and he did score the penalty. So, happy for him to get on the score sheet. He needs it as well. We always want all our players to do well. It doesn't matter who they are. And Richard saying, yeah, I think Alma should have been on the bench. I do too. That's the only thing that I'm a little disappointed from this match, because we were comfortable 3-0 at halftime, and I just and after we went up 4 or 5, I was just like, I wish there was more kids and more youth on the bench, because it was the perfect opportunity to play them. I mean, I don't know if we're really going to get another opportunity like that, against a team at this level. It was good for them. I wish he put in Wheatley. He didn't do it either. I didn't think that we needed Xerxes. If you're not going to start the match with Xerxes, then there was no point to really put him in. I thought, if you started with Xerxes, we go up a couple goals, 3-0, whatever. You put in Wheatley, but I don't know what it is. He's a little strange with it when it comes to the youth right now. He does try to promote at certain times, but other times it's just like he can't be asked. So I don't know. We have to keep an eye out for that. And it is a little bit disheartening that the kid had such a good preseason, and he's not even being included in the squad in any capacity. So I hope, whatever decision they made, if they think he's not ready, I hope that, he just puts in more hard work and, gets his opportunity somewhere down the line. Gray saying, let's not F it up against Palace. I agree. That's something that we need to figure out as well. We have 2 matches on the bounce. We're about to play another match, and we need another good performance and another good result. My slight concern about the way that we played in the match, we played, and I don't like this, and I mentioned it yesterday when we were live, but we're still too slow. And we passed the ball a lot, too much backwards and too much sideways for my liking. We could be way more in attacking intent while keeping possession. I understand that the tactic is to keep possession of the ball and control the game, but there's a lot of moments in the match that there is unnecessary of passing the ball backwards and passing the ball sideways and passing the ball 5 yards away from each other. So that needs to be figured out. That needs to be nipped in the bud. We need to really, just get that in line. That, because for me, we're wasting time. We waste opportunities. Sometimes there's spaces open, and we're not hitting them because we're passing the ball backwards. And I think you've seen that the confidence of the team grew after we scored a couple goals, because it seemed like in the beginning they were a little bit afraid to concede. And they seem to do this when they go in matches, and I think that's why we start very slow. So far in the seasons, this season we've seen in all the matches we start very slow in every single match, and I think it's because they're still in the back of their mind somewhere. They're afraid that they're going to concede a goal and go down 1-0, and they really try to avoid that. But then it limits their attacking mentality. And I think we play our best football when we're brave, when we're quick and confident, and we pass and move and we make runs, and we make the opposition sweat a little bit. When we slow it down, we make it a little bit more comfortable for the opposition, and I think we help them out in that aspect, and we hurt ourselves. So I want to see the progression of this happen. I know Ten Hag spoke about it yesterday, saying that he wants quick, attacking transitions and quick play and stuff like that. So let's see if we could get there. Because for me, we still weren't there, especially in the match today. I mean, we absolutely demolished them 7-0 today. It wasn't even a competition after a certain point. I thought Barnsley might have been a little bit more threatening going forward. I was expecting maybe a lot of crosses. And they really had nothing. So, Richard saying, I like Ugarte, blood on his face, and he's fighting with the referee. Seems like a warrior. I'm telling you, Richard. I coined him already, and I'm telling you, he is the pip. He's gonna be the pit bull in our midfield. He is Lisandro Martinez in the midfield. He is a little pit bull. He has strength. He's not tall, but he has strength, and he is a fighter, and he is a warrior. And I think once we see him just get a little bit more comfortable with the team and integrated and playing and getting used to the Premier League and stuff like that, and his confidence grows, I think we're going to see more and more of it. So all good stuff, all very good positives today. It was a box midfield: Ericsson, Ugarte, Collier, and Casemiro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it was very, and that's why Collier played there. So Axe is in here. Axe, shout out Axe, and Lyle's in here. Lyle, it's been a while. Good to see you, buddy. Axe saying it was a good match. We should not be hyped because we played against the third league team, but hopefully this helps them grow their confidence. Plus, it gave them more time to build their physical form. Yeah, exactly. You just got to take the match as it is. We're not going to say we're going to start destroying teams. There's still things that need to be worked on, like I was just mentioning. But again, we scored 7 goals. I think it's the most goals we've ever scored in a cup competition. In England. And again, it was good performances by Marcus Rashford, good performances by Alejandro, Antony getting valuable minutes, Ugarte getting valuable minutes, Casemiro played very well, Ericsson played very well, even Bruno came on, got an assist for the 10, 50, whatever minutes he was on for. So all around, very very, very good result for us, and that's how I'm taking this match. It's just a good confidence booster for us. Good way to start the League Cup campaign, and we move forward and we look to Crystal Palace, and hopefully we're feeling ourselves a little bit more. We go out against Crystal Palace, we play confident, we play strong. And we get the 3 points there because we're gonna need it, and it's another must-win game. Every match is a must-win match. Moving forward. So Lyle saying, hey Eric and all you Reds, can't stay. Hope y'all are good. Missed the last few lives. Work has been crazy, so energy levels are low. Seventh heaven. Enjoy that game. Take care all. Well, thank you, Lyle. And we miss you, but whenever you could come back, you're always welcome, and we'll be waiting for you for sure. Axe saying, Eric Ten Hag said it best at the press conference. I wasn't devastated after the Liverpool game, and I'm not celebrating now. No, and I like that quote from him. I did read that, and I think it's a smart thing to say, and it's a small mentality to have. Listen, we're fans. We're allowed to get carried away. We're allowed to over celebrate if we want. We're allowed to be very excited. He's the Manchester United manager. He has a big job on his hands. He has a very important job. There's no need there's no reason for him or the players to necessarily get carried away with tonight's result and tonight's performance. They can be happy about it. They can take the positives from it, but they got to roll into the next match, because the next match is not going to be Barnsley. And we have work to do, and we have a job to get done on Saturday against a tough Crystal Palace team. They do give us a lot of problems. We have struggled against them, so I'm going to be looking to see what we can do against them. And just a little bit of stats, since Axe likes the stats here. We'll bring them up here. So Alejandro Garnacho's game by the numbers versus Burnley today. He had 82% pass accuracy, 46 touches, 8 touches in the opponent's box, 3 ball recoveries, 3 chances created, 3 shots, 2 assists, and 2 goals for Alejandro Garnacho tonight. So again, fantastic display from the kid. And just on Garnacho, I think it's going to be a little bit unfortunate, because I do think that, he is not going to start on Saturday. I think Diallo will come back in. And Marcus Rashford will go back on the left wing with Xerxes up top. So, yeah, a little bit unfortunate, but my advice to him would be just keep doing what you're doing. And at some point, things will shift. It's a long season, a lot of matches to be played. And you never know. Maybe somebody falls out of form and you take that spot, or maybe somebody gets injured. Hopefully not. And you have to come in. So, just keep doing what you're doing, kid. You're doing fantastic. He's doing great things. I love the kid. He is what I love to see in players. Just young. He's fearless. And his mind is always to make something happen, be threatening as much as possible, try and create or score a goal in any way possible. So for me, definitely one of my favorite players that we have right now. And then the other player that we're going to talk about, because both of them were kind of battling it out for man of the match tonight, in my opinion. Christian Eriksen made a late entry as well, because I think he played a very good game, and then, getting on the score sheet. So he made a late entry as well. But Marcus Rashford, 9 touches in the opposition's box, 6 shots, 5 attempted take-ons, 3 successful take-ons, 3 passes into the final third, 3 shots on target, 2 ball recoveries, 2 goals, and 1 assist. So, our 2 wingers, all of our wingers scoring, or, our front 3 scoring. And, I think Marcus Rashford, like I said earlier when we started the show, I think Marcus Rashford, you saw the confidence grow. The 2 goals he scored were very, very nice goals. Also creating and getting an assist. So, yeah, I'm happy with it. And it's exactly, I think, what Rashford needed. Garnacho wasn't really lacking in confidence. So another, I would say, normal day at the office for Garnacho in that respect. But for Marcus Rashford, our player that has really been struggling with himself for quite some time, these past 2 matches have been encouraging, and I hope he continues to build on that in the next performance against Crystal Palace. So, and the late entry that came in, and we said class is permanent, and Christian Eriksen, 96 pass accuracy, 64 total touches, 4 passes into the final third, 3 ball recoveries, 2 chances created, 2 shots, and 2 goals. So, Christian Eriksen, a late entry into the man of the match, but, yeah, I think, again, and I said it, his best position for me is where he was playing today, which is where Bruno Fernandes usually plays. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but I think that's where he really excels. He has the brain for that position. His vision, in that area, and his ability to make those passes is very, very good. And we could use more. We could use more of that. I wouldn't even be totally against if we swapped Bruno and put him where Eriksen usually plays in the deeper role, and put Eriksen up top. The only thing is that, he's not going to be able to initiate the press. So I do expect, that not to happen, and Bruno to continue playing where he's playing. And then Casemiro's stats: 109 total touches, 89% pass accuracy, 88% long pass accuracy, 20 passes into the final third, 9 defensive actions, 4 tackles attempted, 3 tackles won, 2 shots in the match. And that's more like the Casemiro we want to see. He needs to do this a lot more. But captain the side today, and very very solid and very good performance all around from all our players. We are going to do the player ratings, so let's get into that. Let me get them on our way. So Binder, I'm gonna give Binder 6.5. A couple players, I give him a 6.5. Diego Dalot, Binder didn't have much to do. But when he had to do stuff, he did pretty good. But other than that, not there wasn't a lot for Binder to do. But 6.5 for me, and just happy that he got an appearance. And we have to make a correction because yesterday we were talking, and it was stated that he never played for us, but he did play that one match. So this was his second time playing for us. I knew I wasn't crazy. I knew he played one time. I could have swore he did, and he did. I think it was against. It was against a very small. It was against a small team. I forgot who it was exactly, but and then Diego Dalot for me played very very good today. But I give him a 7. I give him a 7. I think it was a very good performance. And then got subbed off for Mazawari, so which I thought was the correct move. We needed to rest Maz, and then Dalot deserved to be rested for some minutes as well. So. Very, very good performance from Diego Dalot. Much better than the last time when he played left back. Obviously, he's a lot more comfortable on the right than he is on the left. But for the current situation that we're in, Dalot on the left will have to do until we get some of our left backs back, which is the only slightly concerning thing is I think the rest of the squad right now that we have, I think we have a very good balance all around. Did we freeze? Did we freeze? No, we're good. Okay. I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. Yeah, I think we have a very good overall balance around on the squad, but except for that left back position is the only thing that just seems to really be the bad part right now about the squad. So we got to get the left backs back and keep them fit. So hopefully Shaw and Malacia will be back soon. Harry Maguire, I give him a 6.5. Not because I don't think that he did bad, but because there wasn't much for them to do. They did do the job when they had to, but there wasn't a lot for the defense to do today. So Maguire 6.5, Johnny Evans same rating for me, 6.5, and Toby Collier, I give him a 6.5 too. I don't want to be too harsh on the kid. He struggled defensively playing in the left back position. I think he did all right inverted wise when he was going into the midfield. He did okay, but not his position. So not really his fault, and hopefully we see him a little bit more in the next upcoming matches somewhere. Maybe he gets a couple cameos or something like that, and we see him in his rightful position so we could see, a lot more of him and see what he's got to really offer him, where he has to still develop and stuff like that. So, but I'm happy that at least he got some minutes and he was on the pitch. So that's good. Casemiro for me, I'm going to give him a 7. Again, a very good display, captain the side tonight. And I think he did, a very good job. The link up that he had with Marcus Rashford today was very, very, very good. It was very encouraging. I think we need a little bit more of that all around on the field, on the pitch, in the squad. We need stronger chemistry links. But him and Rashford tonight, they were just like best friends or something. Constantly looking for him, balls over the top. So. Yeah, he did very very well. Ugarte, we give him a 6.5. I think he did pretty good. But we got to see more. I want to see him. I want to see him against Crystal Palace. Essentially, I want to see what he's really got to offer. when we play a more competitive team, because I think that's where we're really going to see him shine. Today it was a little bit hard in that aspect because uh, we dominated possession. And Barnsley weren't very threatening at all. So we're going to see him shine more when we need him in defensive wise in that aspect. So Christian Eriksen, for me, I give him an 8. 2 goals, and he just controlled the midfield, and he did a fantastic display today. And I think again, his best position is behind that striker right there, where he was really excelling today. And it's unfortunate because I don't think we're not going to see him there very very much. But he played well today, and yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it for sure. Antony, for me, I give Antony a 6.5 today. I think he got the goal. He made a couple good plays, but he was a little underwhelming at times, and uh he still has issues taking on defenders. He just can't seem to do it. When you compare him to Diallo, when you compare him to uh, Garnacho or even Rashford, he is the one that is struggling the most out of all of them. Now, granted, he's had the least amount of game time. He's been struggling for quite some time as well. So he has been lacking match sharpness. So you have to kind of be fair to him there. But against Barnsley, I wanted more from him. I wanted more from him. And he was sort of sloppy here and there, but it wasn't an awful performance. He got on the goal sheet. He made a very good, run to get that penalty. I think he did dive a little bit, so I think he was a little bit fortunate there that there was no VAR and he did get that penalty. But he did good. He put the penalty in. He got a goal, so hopefully that boosts his confidence. And the next time he gets an opportunity, he takes it into the next match and gives us a little bit more. So we'll be watching out for that. Alejandro Garnacho, for me, is going to get an 8.5 today, if not a 9. 2 goals, 2 assists. The kid was fantastic. He ripped the Barnsley apart. Absolutely ripped them apart. He thrived today. He loved today's match. And I love this kid. He just keeps doing it. It doesn't matter. He just keeps making an impact every chance he gets. He comes onto the pitch and he just he just has impacts in the match. And that's what we need from our players, to have big impacts no matter who we're playing. Very, very good display from Alejandro Garnacho. Marcus Rashford, for me, is going to get an 8. He played very, very well as well. 2 goals and an assist. Took his chances wonderfully. Was a lot more confident. And the goal, was it the first goal or the second goal? He scored from the right hand side, which we were just talking about yesterday, of how he does perform very good when he goes on the right hand side. And I did mention that it can help him create a little bit more because he's on his strong side, and he's still able to cut in and shoot, which was literally the goal he scored. He cut in from the right hand side, shot it across net, and scored. And yeah, so I will still advocate for the fact that I think Marcus Rashford could and maybe should play on the right hand side, just to help for the creativity of the team, because he can still have a go on goal, but it'll be easier and better for him to create chances with his dominant foot on the right hand side. And maybe we can get out of this invertedness with the wingers, because it doesn't necessarily work the best. So I think I still think that if we played Rashford on the right, Garnacho on the left, and started that way, I think we would be better off for sure. Mazawari, we give him 6.5. Delit 6.5. Bruno, we'll give him a 7 because he got an assist. Otherwise, you get a 6.5 because they weren't on for so long. So, Diallo 6.5. Looked threatening when he came on. Was trying to make something happen. Was out on the left hand side, which was which is actually good because he is also left-footed, so it was like less inverted and more just him playing on his stronger side and giving an opportunity for him to create a little bit more, even though he is good with both his feet. And Joshua Zirkzee, we give him a 6.5. And Eric Ten Hag, we're gonna give him an 8 for today's match. Got the tactics right. I would have gave him probably a little bit of higher score if he included a little bit more youth. But 7-0 in the cup, largest cup win that we've gotten in our history. So 8 for me, and then the man of the match for me is going to be Alejandro Garnacho because I just thought that he was the best out of everybody, and he was absolutely fantastic. So you know I think, he deserves it today. 2 goals, 2 assists, and just the way he played, like the whole match up until he got substituted, I think was, absolutely great. Axe saying, granted, those statistics of Casemiro look better than the ones he had against the lower tier Spanish teams. He played against Newport. My bad. Yeah, it was Newport. That was Binder. Binder played against Newport. Nah, it's okay, Richard. I didn't know either. But I was like, I could have swore he played at least once. Axe saying Antony created the penalty. Nice dive. He did. But you know what? I give him an A+ for effort because he made the effort to get there, and he didn't give up on it. He could have just not made that run. He could have just been like, that was a shit ball, and just gave up on the run, but he didn't. And that's why they tell you from a very young age to never stop running. From the time you're a child, they tell you when you go to training and stuff like that, they tell you to never give up on the play. They tell you to never stop running. And he didn't, and he got rewarded for it, and he got the penalty, and then he was allowed to take the penalty, and he scored. So at least positive on that aspect. I'm happy for him, and hopefully gives him a little bit more confidence, and we could see some better performances. Because again, even though some people might think that they hold the opinion that he's done, he's not good enough, and it is what it is, and that's fine. But again, he's with us for the remainder of the season, so we're going to need him to find some type of form to be able to have some sort of positive impact when he is on the pitch or when he's playing for us. So if they can get little things like this and build on it, it's all positives, all good stuff. Grace is giving Garnacho a 10 and Rashford a 0 just to be a hater. Come on, Grace, give him a little something. Don't give Rashford a 0. I know you're joking, but yeah. Nah, yeah, I think we need everybody firing on all the cylinders. So hopefully, they're feeling real positive, for the upcoming match. Richard saying, well, I hope it's the start. Well, I hope it's the start of a Rashford revival. He's one of our own, and our club was built on that. And yeah, Richard, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not going to say that he is back. I think Marcus Rashford even had some comments, after the match, because he was awarded man of the match, I think from Sky Sports, and even he was asked something about like, are you back? Like, are you feeling better this season or something like that? And he kind of didn't really bite into it. He kind of played it down a little bit and said, we'll see. Sort of along those lines, like, we'll see. I'm not gonna big myself up here and say I'm back to my best and stuff. Still got some work to do, and there's still a long season ahead, and we got a lot of matches coming up and a lot of performances that he's gonna put in. So, I think it was a good response from Rashford, and I think I think he, deep down he knows, and he expects better from himself, but he knows, nobody knows better than the player, and about themselves at least. And, I think he's fully aware, and I think he wants to do better, and he wants to obviously, put in a lot better performances. So hopefully he just carries on and continues doing, what he's been doing. the past two matches, and I look forward to seeing what he's doing against Crystal Palace. And this is what I was talking about yesterday. I think, if he didn't have these two performances prior to that, there was a lot of talk saying that, it's not looking good for Rashford, and Ten Hag keeps picking him and stuff like that. But I think now, as of right now, that's being shifted slightly, just because he has put in two much better performances than he's given us before. So he's buying himself more time, and he's buying Ten Hag's more time in terms of having to pick him. So if he continues, going up, we are going to have, there is a high end of competition right now, because Garnacho is on fire, Diallo is playing very well, and Marcus Rashford is even making an argument for himself now, a little bit more. You know, and it's a little bit difficult, because I think at this moment in time Garnacho deserves to start, and it's just like, where do you really put him? Because I think we might have Rashford maybe potentially, coming back into form a little bit if he continues to build on these performances. So it is turning into a slight problem, but it's a good problem. We need to have this problem. So for sure, definitely something that we need to latch onto there. Axe saying, stupid hate. I really believe that we and the press have to stop making things about Rashford. I know he has 10 on his back, but let's give him a little space and silence. Watch the press conference. First 5 questions were about Rashford. Eric Ten Hag tried to calm them down. Yeah, this is what the media do. British media. What are you gonna do? They obsess over the British players. They can't talk about Harry Maguire. They got to talk about Marcus Rashford. And it's what gets them the most clicks right now, because it's the biggest discussion. You know what I mean? Nobody's attacking Garnacho. There's a lot of talk about Marcus Rashford. There was a lot of hate and criticism going against Marcus Rashford. So of course they're gonna ask 5 questions about Marcus Rashford to Eric Ten Hag. They're not gonna talk about the team performance. They're not gonna really talk about Alejandro Garnacho or anybody else, Casemiro or Eriksen, like that. It was always gonna be about Marcus Rashford, because he scored, he played a lot better. Granted, I know it's Barnsley, I know, but at the end of the day, they were always going to do that. So it is what it is. We gotta take it as it goes. But Grace saying media is so biased to Rashford is sickening. They're biased to the English players. It's not just Marcus Rashford. There's times where they ask Ten Hag 6 questions on Harry Maguire in a pre-match press conference, and it's for no reason. They're always like that. They do something similar to when Luke Shaw comes back. As long as we're aware about what it is, then we're good. We're fine. So, Richard saying, I think Rashford should be on the Ballon d'Or list. Not this year. Not this year. I last 2 seasons ago, 100%, Richard. I would be there. I would be there, right there with you. I know that was a joke, but Richard got a red card. And rightfully so, I think, for that comment, even though I know he's joking. So, Axe saying, I'm with the VAR. Red card canceled. Oh, all right. Red rescinded. Grace is sacking Axe from VAR. So he's unemployed now. We gotta get him a job. We'll get him in the coaching staff at Manchester United. He'll be working with Ruben Estoril. And helping Marcus Rashford score more goals. So yeah, let me pull up actually some of the comments that you guys are talking about, because so here Marcus Rashford, on that question that he was asked about, how is he feeling, if he's feeling better and this and that, and I think they didn't pull up the full quote, but the partial quote is, sometimes you have ups, sometimes you have downs. We have to use these games to find momentum and consistency. I think it's a good answer. It's kind of around the same message that I was basically saying. Again, it is Barnsley, so we can't use it as a measuring stick for how good we are in the Premier League, or where we're going to finish in the league, or against like the higher end teams. But when you do have these matches, you got to use them to find momentum and consistency. And I think that's why today was an important match, and it was a very good result for the team as an overall, because it is a it's just a confidence booster. It's a building block for positivity and confidence in the squad, which we have been lacking for quite some time. And we have started the season a little bit shaky as well. So if it could help in that aspect, I'm gonna take it every day of the week, because that's what we need. And let's see, there should be some more quotes. So Alejandro Garnacho is currently averaging a goal or assist every 29 minutes this season, and that's from him not starting matches. So again, he is on fire, and he is making a huge argument to regain his starting spot, the one that he held down for quite some time last season. Um, Eric Ten Hag making some comments as well, saying we won into the next round, scored some great goals, and entertained the fans, so we are happy. And I agree with that. We will take them as they come, because as we've seen in the past few years, we don't always get these performances. Even in the past, we've played some teams at this level like Barnsley, and we've been hugely disappointed and hugely frustrated. So we're gonna take it. And Eric Ten Hag also spoke about Antony, saying Antony needed some confidence, which I was saying, and I think so, and he's gonna need some more. And Rashford gave him the penalty. They are together, and that's good. He did need some confidence, and hopefully, if he gets 10 minutes next match or something like that, he's just gonna have to do, what is required of him, and hopefully he can use it as a confidence booster, and do something, positive when he gets his chance. And on Garnacho again, he's only had 2 starts this season so far. He has 4 goals and 3 assists, so he's got a 7 GA in 2 assists. So the kid is on fire. The kid is on fire. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to be interesting to see what Eric Ten Hag does. He might, and unfortunate to Diallo, because again, I think Marcus Rashford is going to hold down that spot for quite some time, especially if he's getting on the score sheet now. Because we did hear the Eric Ten Hag comments of once it's like a bottle of ketchup. Once you get one, the whole thing comes out. So yeah, I think Marcus Rashford will be holding down that spot for the time being going forward. And I wouldn't put it past it if Garnacho ends up starting over Diallo maybe at the weekend. Um, it would be a little rough. It would be a little harsh on Diallo, because I think Diallo's been playing good as well, and I don't think he necessarily deserves to lose his spot. But when you have somebody like Garnacho, who is just basically on fire, and providing a little bit more in terms of goals and assists than Diallo has so far, he's certainly making an argument for it. Even Bruno Fernandes, while his general play has been quite frustrating at times so far this season, and we need to see more from the captain of Manchester United. Came on, got an assist, and Bruno has 15 goals assists in his last 15 games, so he's averaging a goal assist every match as well. So some positive statistics for us there. And I think we're just doing what we gotta do. Christian Eriksen, speaking of Marcus Rashford, saying he's a goal scorer and we need him. He always creates chances for the team and for himself. I'm sure he'll do even better. And I agree with that first part. I mean, for the fact that we need him. We need him. And then, this is the message that I'm going to keep putting out there, because I believe in it. Every player that we have, we need them. We need them. We need them. We need them to perform. So, if they can do it, that's the best possible scenario. We need Marcus Rashford scoring goals and playing good. It's not a personal thing. When we say that, maybe he should be benched. We just need players performing. Garnacho's performing. Rashford's starting to perform a little bit now. Diallo's been performing. We need to see if we could get Xerxes with them, but obviously it's Xerxes' first season, and he's sort of young as well, so he's still trying to find his feet. But if we could get him in there as well, that would be fantastic as well. So yeah. And Ericsson also saying there have already been ups and downs this season. It's time to be consistent and get results in every game, and that's what we're looking for, Christian. That's what we're looking for. We need consistency, and we need to get these results in every match. So hopefully we continue that against Crystal Palace, and we need to see where we go. Being they're very happy that he's got his match in today. I'm happy for him. I'm glad he did. Eric Ten Hag comments on Rashford saying, "When I see Marcus Rashford's teeth, which is his smile, I'm calm, I'm composed, and I'm convinced that he's going to score." Yeah, I mean it's important to have a positive attitude. Positivity um, reaps in more positivity. So when Marcus Rashford is, and I think we all want to see that anyway. We want to see Marcus Rashford smiling and being happy and enjoying himself at Manchester United. Nobody wants to see a player in a Manchester United kit looking miserable and hating their life. Nobody wants that. We want to see everybody flourish and we want to see the team succeed. So, the more positivity, the better. And today is definitely a positive result, positive performances all around the pitch, and I will take it no matter what. I don't care of the opposition. Manchester United have won the match, and I was very, very happy. Marcus Rashford's first goal, I stood up and clapped because it was a good finish, and it was a good play, and I was happy. I was genuinely very, very happy for him. So. And then Ten Hag saying, in my first season, Rashford had his vibe, this good mood. So I think Ten Hag I think Ten Hag kind of forgetting that he was asked about Marcus Rashford's happiness, and he did say that I see Marcus every day, basically alluding to the fact that Marcus is happy, but he's come out and made these comments, basically saying that like today he was more happier. So I think he needs to just remember some of the things that he says sometimes, because you could kind of use that against him. They are a little bit contradictory to each other, but yeah, we're not gonna go and delve too much into that. Um, and then Ten Hag also talking about there will be rotation. Your conclusion that I leave out players when I select an XI is not correct. I select an XI because I have to make changes. We have more than 11 players who can start in every game. So Ten Hag hitting back on the aspect of certain players being left out of the squad or the starting lineup altogether. Um, and he also went on to say it's a never-ending process. I know where we want to go. I know we have a lot of speed, but we also have players who can dominate possession. Yeah. So I think we're gonna see maybe a little bit more. I would call them probably Jekyll and Hyde performances. I think there's going to be some games where we play very quick, very fast, and then there's going to be other matches where we play a lot more slow and hold the ball a lot more and not be so quick, which I am, not too fond of. It's just not the football I grew up on. It's just not the football that I love. I don't like the slow tempo. I don't like just holding on to possession for the sake of holding on to possession. I want to see our team attacking. I want to see our team score goals. I want to see our team be threatening at every single chance that we have. But obviously it hasn't always been the game plan, and it's not always going to be the game plan because we're already seeing that so far, and it's this early into the season. Um, Ten Hag also speaking more about Rashford, saying Rashford's breakthrough against Southampton, confidence is a big part. It's not everything. There are other things too, but confidence is a big part. He scored so many goals. He's one of United's top scorers. And I do agree with that sentiment though. Like it is, the confidence factor, and this goes for a lot of players. This isn't just Marcus Rashford. We already mentioned it with, Antony. The confidence factor is a huge thing, and I think it's a huge thing on the team as well, because as a squad, as a unit, as a whole, we start matches very, very slow, and I think it's because they still lack confidence. When they go into a match, they're a little bit scared. They don't want to make a mistake, and they don't want to concede an early goal. So they play with a little bit less confidence than I would like them to, and I think it hinders us. But then once we get more into the match, and if we don't concede and we don't have so much pressure on us, we get more into the game, and then the confidence in the team grows, and we start playing a lot better. So I would like for them to start matches with that confidence. That's something that needs to be also figured out. Something that's been a problem for quite some time with us. And hopefully we get that sorted out. But even just the aspect of Garnacho and Rashford just looking for each other today was beautiful. That's what I want to see. I want to see more of that. And yeah, and I think Garnacho's found his new iconic celebration. I think he's found his version of his C, because every time he scores, he keeps doing that sitting on the boards celebration. So I love it. That's his celebration now. I think he's rightfully taken that, and hopefully we see that celebration a lot more. Ten Hag talking about the competition between attacking players. They are very ambitious. They are hungry, but you also see that they give the ball to each other, which is exactly the correct dynamic that we need. They want to give each other assists. They want to create chances, and we need more of that because there was a fair amount of time where they were very selfish, where they were just trying to do everything themselves, where they wanted to be the hero, where they wanted to be the goal scorers. I think we're starting to see a slight difference in that aspect in terms of that they are doing better in terms of having to go themselves, but then also looking for their teammates. Something that was a major issue last season was there was so much selfishness from the wingers and other players that wasting chances, shooting stupid shots, not picking their head up, not looking for their teammates. And I think so far we've seen it's not a huge difference. It's not a major difference. There's still work that needs to be done in that aspect. A lot of progress still needs to be made. But I think the encouraging signs is that they are looking for them. They are making that slight improvement into trying to look for their teammates a lot more and just making better plays when they're on the ball and not forcing it as much, which just leads to frustration and anger at the players. And then Ten Hag saying goals don't just come from Marcus Rashford. We need more goal scorers. But I know it's easier to have a player in the squad who is a guarantee goals. Goals make the difference in football. So again, you're hearing Ten Hag's praise, also support, but belief in Marcus Rashford. And I think this probably gives a little bit insight into why he keeps picking him because I think it's fairly evident that Erik Ten Hag fully believes in Marcus Rashford. I think Erik Ten Hag sees Marcus Rashford as a top elite player, one that has really been struggling, but it seems to be that's the reason why he's stuck by him because I think he thinks that he is the pinnacle of this team and he can be, even though he hasn't been. So yeah, I think we're gonna be seeing Marcus a lot more. There's no chance of him losing his spot anytime soon. And I will take it because I don't necessarily want him to lose his spot. I want him to perform. So if he can continue to perform and he stays in the team, then I'm happy days. There's no reason. The only reason I don't ever want him in the squad is if he's not performing and other players are and they got to get in ahead of them. If we have multiple players performing, then it is what it is. Whoever gets picked gets picked. You could have your opinion, I guess, on who you think should be starting. But back in the day when we had Fergie, there was loads of players that would be performing, and it would it's always a tough decision, but somebody's got to start over somebody. But you know you at least everybody is performing at a high level. I'd rather have that than have one player performing and one player shit because that means that we have less options in terms of if we're gonna find something that's gonna win us the match. So Ten Hag also saying perfect night. He's like, you could say that, but not only for me, but also for the team. We did what we set out to do. We scored good goals. We entertained the fans, and we worked on our style of play. We are happy. And Erik Ten Hag on Garnacho, always the right timing, and he is very calm in front of goal. And that's something that I was gonna say before, but I kind of got a little sidetracked. When he was talking about the confidence from the players, and it's not everything, but it is a huge factor. I think that's one thing that has been separating Garnacho from Rashford and a couple other players is that Garnacho just plays with such confidence. He's not afraid. He plays his game. He plays his style. And he's always looking to try and make something happen. And he believes that he's going to make something happen. I think is probably the most important aspect. That he is fearless. A lot. So I think that just shows, that confidence is very, very important. Very, very important. Um and it is a huge factor. It's not everything, but I think it's a large percentage. I think it's probably more the majority. You have to have confidence. So for somebody like Antony, for example, he's clearly lacking confidence. He's been having a hard time. And he's gonna need to find that confidence if he's gonna want to improve his performances. Because if he's doubting himself, or he's not feeling so great, he's not gonna perform well. So hopefully him getting on the score sheet today, and he gets a little bit of encouragement from his teammates and maybe even the coaching staff. Maybe that helps him in that aspect, and the next time he gets on the pitch, he performs even better. So um the games are going to come thick and fast now, absolutely, and this is why we need everybody performing well. So you know Axe saying we will need to see him playing full matches against big teams. Last year, it was the same. He started from the bench. To be honest, he didn't play any minutes in Copa America. Um, they have to display a good playing style built on team chemistry, and yeah, and I think hopefully that's what we're working on right now, what we're building on. It kind of seems like it. There is some differences, compared to last season in that aspect. Especially, because last season was torrid. But the thing that worries me, and I think it is still a problem because I don't think we found the solution for it, is this team has to pick up its attitude and its mentality when things don't go right. Because the past two matches, things have gone right for us. So everything is okay. And everything is fine and everybody's happy and everybody's smiling and everybody plays well. When we get into a situation where it's not going well for us, we need to figure out how to fight and get out of that, because we've seen too many times something goes wrong and the team just crumbles and disintegrates into just complete chaos and disasterness. So we still have to be worried on that aspect because I don't think they figured that out yet. And if we end up in a match, like Saturday when we go to play Crystal Palace, if Crystal Palace starts strong and we don't, and we end up in a situation where things are not going our way and we're up against it, we need to see how they're going to deal that aspect. And hopefully we don't, because we could use the confidence right now. I think the more that we can start stronger and not be in situations where we are on the bottom end of stuff for the moment, is the best possible situation, because we need to build this confidence and this momentum as much as possible, to the point that it's so high that when we do get into a position where we are in a position that we don't want to be, that we're losing a match 1-0, or we're getting outplayed, or we're getting just beaten on the pitch, they will have the confidence and belief in themselves and the fight, the mentality, the attitude to keep pushing and try harder. I think right now it's at a very fragile state. It's not solid. It's very fragile and it could be broken. So hopefully when we go to play Crystal Palace, we start strong, we play well, and we put in good, strong performance, like we did today, and even against, Southampton after the first 30 minutes, of course. Um, Richard saying the only thing is, I think at some time in the future we're going to lose Garnacho to Real Madrid, and most of the South American players, that's their dream. I mean, we might very well lose Garnacho in the future, but let's enjoy him for what he is now. Um, that's later down the line, and you never know. Maybe later down the line, if we're a totally different team and we're challenging on all fronts, maybe he doesn't want to leave. Maybe he ends up wanting to stay. He's living in Manchester. His child's growing up there. Um, he's still young himself. He's still growing up himself. And maybe he doesn't want to leave. Maybe he wants to stay because he considers it his home. Or maybe because I do know that he is a Real Madrid fan in some aspect. And maybe that is his dream, and he does go there. But if it is what it is, we take him for what he is now. We enjoy him while he's here, and if that happens later down the line, then we deal with it when it happens. But you know, I think he's definitely on the trajectory to go to that route because I think he's developing into a very very excellent player. So yeah, very unlikely at this moment, especially because Garnacho's a winger. I saw Endrick's goal today, right? Yeah, not right now, but maybe in 5 years' time or something like that. I think Real Madrid are very, very stacked right now. They don't really need any players, really. Um, you know, I don't know what more players they want to add to their squad, but they they have plenty of players. I mean, they don't really need Garnacho right now. And it would just be like adding it'd be like adding more frosting onto the cherries that are already on top of the cake. So um, they should have brought me in on a free for left back. I would take my wages in Guinness. I mean, they might still be able to make you an offer, Richard. If you are a free agent, you can get signed. So we could see if we can make that happen. And I'm sure they would be happy to pay you in Guinness. It's better than 150,000 a week. So, unless you want 150,000 a week in Guinness, um, Act saying they will build internal self confidence, not focus so much just on the moment. Grow the mindset that you have the capacity to overcome adversities in the game and dictate the rhythm. Rashford forever, reliable Rashford, and I hope you're right. Well, I hope I'm right too. I'm not always right because it's impossible, and no one's ever always right. But this is how I feel right now. And I hope everything continues to go the way it is going. We have to play Crystal Palace on Saturday, and Crystal Palace. Let me just see if I could look this up right now. Um, Crystal Palace. Oh, Crystal Palace has 2 points in the 4 matches. They have lost the first two and tied the last two. So worse form than us. They have a -3 goal difference, and we're about 6 positions ahead of them. We are away though, so it is going to be a tough match. We do struggle sometimes when we play away. Um, and we're gonna have to see what we do in terms of the way we're gonna line up and play. But I'm backing and I'm hoping for a strong performance because we need it, and this team needs it, and I think they can do it. Going forward from this point, you take these 2 games with you, these 2 performances, and you go into the next one. Just know, I think like how we spoke about it yesterday. You have to earn the right. You have to earn the right to win. You have to earn it. And there's no don't get your head too big because you're performing well. You got to go to Crystal Palace and you have to earn the right to win at Selhurst Park. Um, and it's not gonna be an easy match because even though they are not like in great form, and I mean like they're only slightly worse than us because we have 2 wins and 2 losses. They have no wins so far, which is actually you could make an argument it's a bad time to play them because they are looking for their first win. The probability is that eventually they're gonna have to get it at some point because Crystal Palace isn't like a horrible team. and we're playing them in their home, so they are gonna probably be aggressive. They are probably gonna, get on the front foot and try and attack us, and we're gonna have to be ready for that. So, hopefully, we will be. I'm still not 100% confident in this team. They gotta show us more. We need a lot more of these types of performances under the belt before I can start really believing we've turned the page, and we're going in a very positive direction. But small steps so far, and we're taking good baby steps in the right direction. But let's see what happens against a team like Crystal Palace. Um, on the weekend, and I'm just checking to see if we have any more like news or something like that. Um and Hag on Rashford's 2 goals, saying I am confident that he will score. Last season was for everyone difficult, and we ended with a trophy. You can't forget it, but we hit our target, and that is what we aim for this season. We want to progress. So yeah, Ten Hag again mentioning the trophies, and basically saying that we are aiming to try and win everything that we possibly can. And I think he should just continue to stay on that message, because that's the message I want to hear coming from the manager. Also saying the key was the right attitude and to be 100% concentrated. Yeah, and I think that's something. I think that's something that we've been missing, and that we've been lacking. That the consistency of having that right attitude and concentration in the matches. I think sometimes we get distracted by the pressure in the match, and we need to hold our ground more, and we need to be more confident. So, yeah, let's see how we do that. I thought the first goal, he said, Ten Hag said it was a difficult start, but it was not bad once we found the shape, and I agree with that. I think the first 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes was a little bit worried that the way we slight kind of looked, and I was like not too thrilled about it. But then, I think we found ourselves, and it is the first time this team is playing together. So I guess you kind of have to take that into consideration, I guess, as well. Took them a little bit to figure it out, because not all the players have been playing together in that aspect. And once we found our patterns, we scored some great goals. So, and Garth there on Instagram saying, amazing night. My first time at Old Trafford was incredible. It's an honor to play here. Let's keep fighting together. And thank you for playing. And then I really do. I like this guy. I think what he's gonna bring to the team. I think he's going to be an absolute fan favorite at Manchester United. I just when I every time I see him, it just pitbull, midfield pitbull just keeps popping into my head, because I think he really is gonna be um he's just gonna do all that dirty work that a lot of us tend to appreciate in a midfielder. Not everybody has to be Xavi, not everybody has to be Iniesta or Paul Scholes. There's a lot of players that play in that position that they do magic, but they do dirty work magic. And I always appreciate that as well, because it's very important to the team. So Gray's saying the only thing I don't like about Rashford is that he tries to take on 5 players instead of find a pass. He don't always have to be the main guy. Well, I do agree with you somewhere there, Grace, but I'm going to be fair to him. So far, I think he's slightly trying to improve on that aspect. I think he is looking for his teammates a little bit more. He still does do that dribble every once in a while. Um, but when he gets it right, it looks absolutely, beautiful from him. When he gets it wrong, it's frustrating, and you're pissed off at him. But I think, we're talking a lot about confidence today. I think I'd rather kind of have him do that, because at least it shows that he's confident in himself. I don't want him doing it all the time. I think he definitely has to pick and choose the times to do that, and then the other times he has to pick and choose to look for the pass, like you're saying. And I think if he can find a nice sweet balance between that, Grace, I think we'll be happy with that because, uh, what you don't want to see from Marcus Rashford is him picking up the ball like he did in that one match and immediately turning around and passing it backwards or running backwards. We want to see the attackers be confident and take players on. But you have to be successful when you take them on. Otherwise, everybody's going to be pissed at you. And I think that's something that Antony is kind of struggling with right now. He's struggling to take players on. He's not beating them. He's losing the ball. And you know what? He's not necessarily fast. I mean, I haven't seen him been able to beat a left back for pace yet, pretty much, especially with the ball in his feet. So, I thought when we first bought him, I thought he was a lot quicker than he actually is. He's actually not I don't think he's fast enough. And it showed today again because we were playing Barnsley. And he couldn't run past their left back. He just couldn't do it. So he's not gonna really he's not gonna be able to do it against the Premier League side, uh, who should have faster players and better players. So it is a little concerning on that aspect. I would still like to see because we were talking about the inverted winger thing doesn't really work, and I would like to see Antony play on the left, because I think he could at least create some more chances. But the problem is that he can't use his right foot at all. So I don't know what you do with a player like that. I don't know what you. Antony needs a runner in front of him, needs a runner of him, in front of him. Um. Richard saying, yeah, I would agree with that, Grace. He does tend to want to be the main man. Yeah, he does, but I think it's important for him because it means that he has at least confidence. But again, I would stress that he needs to find the good balance between that. He can't be forcing it. I think last season was a perfect example where you see Rashford was playing horrible, right? But then everything he tried to do just never worked for him. He was forcing dribbles, running into five defenders, losing the ball, and then also at the same time, not looking to create, not picking his head up, not looking for his teammate, not making passes into the box. I think right now we're seeing a pretty decent mixture from Marcus Rashford, and if he can, grow on that and improve it and then find a nice balance between him taking on a couple defenders and making that run that he's so famously known for, because he's done that for quite some time now, and also looking to create by making passes or crossing the ball. I think we'll be very, very happy with that because it's important that if that's what he likes to do, and he can be successful at making those dribbles, then I would like to see him continue to do it, but he just can't be forcing it. Last season, I remember there's so many times where he was playing awful. He'd pick up the ball, and he'd literally run into like 5, 6 defenders. He'd lose the ball immediately. He'd lose the ball on the first defender. And there was one or two there was one or two times today where, I he did do that, and I wanted him to pass it. He didn't pass it. I think it was on the Garnacho, the first goal. But the ball ended up just bouncing to Garnacho. Luckily enough, he was in a good position and he scored from it. But the ball should have went to Garnacho. He did too much dribbling there and he did lose it. So, um, Rashford knows if he scores from 30 yards out, the media loves it. I understand Rasmus's frustrations, and when Rasmus comes back, he must get supply. That's the reason he didn't score more last season. It was a lack of supply. Well, yeah, I mean, and even before that, even before Rasmus, lack of supply has kind of been, we create chances, but the chances don't get created for our striker. The chances get created from our wingers, and then a little bit of Bruno Fernandez. And you're right, we're gonna have to supply Rasmus more, and hopefully hopefully, we do that. And I think right now, the way the team is looking, I mean, there was a good mixture in tonight's match of trying to score and trying to create scoring chances for your teammates. I think if we build on that, we continue with that. I think we'll be all right, and I think Rasmus will be all right. Um, Gray saying he's 20, 26, 27 coming into his prime. It shouldn't have taken this long to add more than just runs in behind to his game. The thing is, I think he can do it. Like I don't think it's like something that needs to necessarily be added to his game. I think like he can do it. I just think he chooses not to a lot of the times, which is why I don't know why. Cuz like we've seen that he can make passes, he can make crosses. He can do it when he chooses to do it. He just doesn't choose to do it a lot. So I think they need to like just instruct him to do it a little bit more and help him in those areas. Like I don't think it's like necessarily something that like he's had to develop. I think he's been able to do it. I just think that for a lot of his time, he's just been allowed to do what he's normally doing, which is just making those runs and taking a shot. I think there has to be a little bit more emphasis from the coaching staff in terms of telling him like and just working out those kinks of like, look, when they analyze the previous match and be like, look, when you get in these certain situations, you did go to here with the dribble, but this was too much and you can't be doing that. Look, you had one of your teammates open, you should have laid the ball off here or something like that. So, stuff like that. There's times where he does do it, looking for his teammates and stuff. And then there's other times where it's like he refuses to do so. So, that comes from him as well. But I think he certainly has the ability to do it if he wants. I think it's just him making the decision needs to be sorted out a little bit. The last match against Barnsley ended in a 7-0 for us too. Did it really? That's actually hilarious. But was that in the league or what was that? Axe. Was that like a long time ago? I don't even know. I don't know when was the last time we played them. Um. So yeah, I think that's very good. Um, in the Premier League in 1997. Yeah, a long time ago. I was 3 years old at that time. So, yeah, not gonna remember that one. But yeah, it was a long time ago, man. That's a long, long time ago. That's crazy. I was 3. Richard was probably somewhere drinking, having fun. Um, the Barnet fan probably probably crying in his car. Richard saw it. Richard was there for sure. Uh, so yeah, the Barnet fan. It's unfortunate that he didn't get to join us. But you did, Grace. You set him up, Grace. You set him up for failure. He said his original comment was that we were gonna absolutely rip them apart, and you set him up for failure because you told him to back his team, and you got him talking a lot of crap only for him to get absolutely obliterated tonight. So, you did him dirty, Grace. You did him dirty, absolutely. Uh, you did him dirty. You set him up for failure, Grace. You set him up for failure. Uh, but nah, it's all good. It's all in the good banter and laughs. So I think we're gonna end it because I got some things that I got to take care of, and it is getting late, and it is late for you guys. So I'm happy you guys were able to make it in here and join us and be a part of the show, and we'll carry it over into the next one. Today is Tuesday. We will do another live, probably a news section, and since we're playing Saturday. I would say we'll do it on Friday, the day before the match. We'll do, the press conference roundup. We'll do any news that comes out in that aspect. We'll do a match preview for against Crystal Palace and Selhurst Park and all that. So I think Friday is probably the best bet. If anything major breaks, maybe we'll do one, before that, but probably not. But aiming for Friday. Friday is definitely going to happen, so I think that's probably our best bet to do so. So we'll do that and be on the lookout for that. And everybody, If you didn't smash the like button for me, please do so because it helps us out, and I greatly appreciate it. So do that, and yeah, we're working on getting you know to uh to get to get super chats in that. We're about halfway there. We have a big push to the end of the year. We need a lot more watch hours, but we're getting there. We're building there, so that's a positive thing. And hopefully we get the super chats and the super likes and stuff like that, and monetization. So big push there. And we're working on the subscribers as well. We're at 2,836 or something like that. So we're trying to hit 3,000. We're gonna push for that as well. And just thank you guys for making the show always great as usual. And we're gonna keep moving forward. We're gonna keep pushing, and we will get there at some point. So thank you guys. Have a wonderful night. Enjoy. Be good. Stay positive. GGMU 7-0. Be happy with today's result and today's performance, and we can continue on with the rest of our week in a positive light. So thank you guys. We'll catch you on the next one. We'll see you Friday because we will be live for sure. So until then, be good and stay safe.